Episode 2 of Wicked Wheels is all about Hans Rey, and we're hanging at the GT Press Camp in Engelberg, Switzerland, where we get to try out the new GC bicycles. Should be fun. We're also going to get a chance to go riding with Brian Lopes, Jill Kintner, and Bryn Atkinson, as well as Hans himself. And it's going to be a lot of fun here, and hopefully the rain will clear up and we'll get some nice time on the trails with these guys. The idyllic village of Engelberg, nestled in the Swiss Alps, is host to this year's GT Press Camp, where journalists from around the world are invited to check out the new line of GT bikes. There's nothing new about this, all bike companies do it. What's special about this particular event is the folks that are here, in particular Hans Rey. Nicknamed Hans No Way Rey for his abilities on the bike, he's also called Mr. Freeride for his pioneering of the freeride movement. Hans has taken his talent for balance and bike control to new and uncharted levels over his career. He's been a world champion, a TV star, an ambassador, a historian, a philanthropist, and continues to develop and adapt and lead the way.
Hi, I'm Hans Rey and you're watching Wicked Wheels.
Hans was born on the 4th of June 1966 in Kensingen, Germany, but actually holds a Swiss passport. He fell in love with biking at an early age and proceeded to make strides on his bike, advancing as far as getting the German and Swiss Trials Championship titles before making the decision to move to the USA. The Americans had never witnessed the level of riding that Hans was showing off, and he was an instant celebrity, giving demos, competing, and basically dominating the sport of trials throughout the 80s and into the early 90s. His desire to learn and progress saw him step his riding up and in a totally new direction, and the freeride movement was born. Credited as being one of the originators of the freeride movement, Hans Rey continues to push the boundaries of his riding and his age. At 41, he is one of the longest-standing sponsored professional riders in the world of bike sports. This is No Way But Up with Hans Rey.
Got myself worked up over nothing today. All the trash that's in my head, I gotta throw it away. It's alright. It's alright.
I was actually born and raised in Germany, but I have a Swiss passport, and back in Germany, my hometown, I started riding trials. We had a motorcycle trials club, and my dream was to have a motorcycle when I was 12 years old. But I guess my parents thought I was too young, or it was too dangerous, or too expensive, or whatever. So me and my friends, we all started riding on bicycles. We just converted old Stingrays and stuff. And before we knew it, we had a group in our hometown that was really into it. We followed the BMX scene. Even though I was never racing BMX, BMX was very glamorous. Those guys had factory teams and driving Porsches, and trials was a complete amateur sport, and it was, a lot of them looked at it like a kid's sport where they would get ready for motorcycle trials, and I ended up never changing, I stuck with the sport. And when I came to America, mountain biking was just about to blow up. The Europeans were so ahead of the game, because trials is a European sport, unlike mountain biking or BMX. So when I came to America, I was ages ahead, and I got really well received, and people were stoked to see me, and I actually got opportunities. Like, some companies offered me small sponsor contracts, and I figured, that's kind of a dream coming true, and I have to do it, even if I do it just for 1 year and then go back to school, I figured, but at least I get to see America, get to travel a bit, and, and learn the language at the same time. And I moved out there, and then out of 1 year became 2, 3, 4, 5, and then now we're at 21. It's been a good decision to do that. I sometimes have nightmares when I think I would have accepted like a apprenticeship somewhere, or working at some company, or it's ending up somewhere, but I'm stoked it worked out that way. And yeah, kind of grew up with the mountain bike sport too, even though I wasn't there at the very beginning, but when it became big, and then with the whole freeride scene, you know, a lot of people credit me for being one of the guys who got that going and the first guy to do that stuff and popularize it, and also showing people that there's more to mountain biking than racing, you know. Racing is great, and I raced for a while. Even when I was in America, I started doing dual slaloms, and I started doing downhill races also, and I wasn't, you know, the best at it, but people realized, hey, this guy can do more than just hop around on his bike. And you know, one year I actually got third place in the Slalom World Championships, you know, so call it luck or not, but it's a good result on the belt.
Know that I can't stay right here. If you want me, you don't need to be ashamed. No.
At the beginning of the 90s, you know, I was like, man, I don't want to be a mountain bike racer. I'd rather be a extreme mountain biker, we called it. And I was looking up to people like Glenn Blake, who started the whole extreme skiing kind of thing. And I always admired guys like Robbie Nash, who were really, you know, they were in a way bigger than their sport, you know, and they did a lot of things outside their sport, but also were really respected within the sport.
I'm the one to run to. If you want me, you don't need to be ashamed. Yeah. And if you need me, all you do is come.
I looked up to guys like Boris Becker from tennis and so on, and lately I was really influenced by Rick Ridgway. He's an American mountaineering guy. And he was the first American, or maybe even person, I think first American who climbed up K2 and done a lot of these things, but he's also, he's really involved in conservation projects together with Yvon Chouinard from Patagonia and all those guys, and they buy millions of acres of land in South America and places and make national parks and preserve the land, and they do so many other cool things, and that's something that has really inspired me, and also I think it helped me, you know, to get inspired to start my own charity, Wheels for Life, you know, and get that going. You know, if you live in a remote village anywhere in the world, in India and Africa, and the next school is 10 kilometers away, or the hospital is 20 kilometers away, the biggest town with the markets or where there's jobs for the parents are too far away to walk. And these people, you know, a lot of these places, they make less than $1 a day, and if they take a public bus, it costs them 20 cents a day, you know, so they cannot afford that. You know, they have to feed 5 or 6 children. Or a lot of places don't even have public transportation, and it's too far to walk. So having a bike can make a huge difference and really can help people to get out of this vicious poverty cycle, you know, because once you're in there, it's really hard to get going somewhere. And we buy the bikes in the country usually, which fuels the local economy. It helps the people to find spare parts if they ever need some, because the bikes are already in that country. And it saves us all the hassles of shipping and custom and all that stuff, which would cost much more money. So that's kind of the philosophy behind this. And you know, through all my travels, I've seen how people use the bikes and how if they had a bike, they could, you know, they could really better their lives. And I want to show people that the gift of giving is actually very rewarding, you know. Yeah, it would be nice to have Bill Gates throw me a few $1 million, but I'm as happy of the $5 bill some kid gives me or so, you know, and I want to show everybody they can make it different. It doesn't need to be the Bill Gates, and if a lot of people give $1, you know, that's also one Bill Gates, you know, and there's a lot of ways people can help without necessarily opening their wallet, you know, and they can spread the message, they can link our website, they can do things, they can do a little fundraiser. And then I have certain companies like Crank Brothers, they designed a special pedal in the Rasta colors, and it's a BMX platform pedal, but it comes in the Rasta colors, and they donated $10 per pair to the charity, basically all their profits. But what's even more important than that is the awareness a product like this raises. You know, the box, the packaging is really cool, and it explains Wheels for Life, and Chris King is working now on a headset in the Rasta colors. So there's a lot of things going, and we're growing at a very comfortable pace, but it's important to ship food and medications to all these countries. but look what bikes can do, and maybe some of your money should also go towards bikes in the future.